So I thought a great place for us to start for today's workout is just with a nice gentle mobilization. So to do that, we're going to come down onto the mat. So it's a nice lying grounding practice just to begin with. So just to focus in on your breath. And then we'll hug the knees into the chest and move into more of a seated mobilization. So come with me down onto your mat. So just making sure you've got a nice obstacle-free position to come to wherever you happen to be. So once you're lying down on the floor, so just finding a nice grounded position with bent knees and feet to floor, and just bring your gaze slowly up towards the ceiling. So just for starting to focus in on the breath, just with your eyes open. So you can always do the grounding meditation that I posted previously if you want to before this one. So just starting to tune in on that breath with your eyes open. Nice deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose. That's it, a couple more now. And then when you're ready, hugging the knees in towards the chest. So just bring them in and maybe have a little rock side to side. So think about the mat against the floor as a little bit of a free massage tool here. So it's quite nice just to wake up that energy, sleeping energy through your spine as you rock backwards and forwards, side to side, whatever you fancy really. That's it. So a couple more little rocks here, just waking up, massaging every corner of your back. Nice. And then just allow that movement to come back to gentle stillness in the center. As you exhale, one foot's going to come down, followed by the other one. And then maybe rolling over onto your side, or you can rock yourself up a little bit like a ball if you want to. And then coming to join me in a seated position. So if you can cross your legs, that's great. If you can't, just coming into whichever seated position you prefer. So you might prefer to sit out in our Dandasana staff pose if you prefer. So just coming to wherever you feel good. Okay. So we're going to take a little mobilization and we're going to take the spine into lots of different directions now. So take a nice big inhale. We're going to bring those arms up above. And then as you exhale, we're going to take a side bend. So one hand's going to come down, the other one's going to stretch. So think about drawing that shoulder back into its socket. So we don't want to be overextending. And you might look up the top as well, as long as it doesn't bother your neck. Good. One more breath here. And then breathe through center, and same thing off to the other side. So one hand comes down, the other one goes up. You might notice differences between each side as well. So again, you can look up just underneath that arm if you want to. Keep breathing, drawing that shoulder back and down into its socket. And then inhale back to center, and we go again. Exhale, side bend. Maybe bending the elbow a little bit more on the other side, on the supporting hand side. Good. One more breath here. And then breathe through center and side bend. That's it. Maybe drawing the ear down towards the shoulder. Remember, you can look up on each side if you want to. One more big breath here. And then take it gently up to the center. This time we're going to take a twist. So as you exhale, we're twisting. So the hips generally will stay forward, and this twist is in the mid-back, so in the torso. So the shoulder will come back a little bit, but the hips won't go very far at all. They should be pointing as far straight as you can. So you might look over that back shoulder if you want to here. Just taking one more breath here. And then big inhale, gently unravel back up to the top. And exhale off to the other side. So same thing again, this side we're still sitting quite tall, hips are still pointing forward. So it's just a twist through that torso, not very much range of movement here. Maybe looking over the back shoulder. And then big inhale back up to the top. And then one more set each side. Exhale, twist. That's it. So you might notice maybe a little bit more rotation this time, only if it feels good though. So we never force any movements in yoga ever. Just one more breath. And then inhaling back up to the center. And exhale off to the other side. That's it, same thing this side. You might feel a little bit more rotation. Looking over that back shoulder. And big inhale, back up to the center. And exhale, hands gently down. So we're going to take a little bit of a forward bend now. So we're going to switch over the cross of the legs. So often with crossed legs, we'll always go to that preferential side of ours. So we tend to sit with one leg in front of the other all the time. So this just helps to challenge this a little bit. So we're going to take a little forward bend here. So just starting to creep those hands forward, coming into your cross-legged forward fold. So only coming as far as you feel you want to. So the neck should be reasonably long. So try not to look up. Just keep that gaze down at the floor. And that back should be reasonably long. So think length. You might feel a little bit of a stretch through the spine. If you're sitting in that staff pose, Dandasana, so you can still do the same, folding over those long legs. And then gently breathing it back up to the center, little creep. And then bringing the hands just behind us. So you might be on fingertips here. Now what we're going to do is a little mini back bend. So we're just going to draw those shoulder blades back towards each other. And then it's almost as if you're puffing your chest out. So we're keeping that navel drawn firmly in towards the spine, puffing the chest out, drawing the shoulder blades back and together. That's it, good. A couple more breaths here. That should feel nice across the chest. And then easing that out there. Coming onto hands and knees, and we'll just do a little mobilization for the spine before we finish. So coming onto all fours, so you've got your hands under the shoulders and your knees under the hips. So feel quite grounded here. Just be mindful of your wrists as well. So if under the shoulders is a little bit much, you can always walk them just a little bit further forward, and that's a much less aggressive angle. So whatever you fancy, whatever feels good. So take a nice big inhale here and exhale. And we're going to take another big inhale and take it up into cat pose. And then exhale it down into cow. That's it. Now reverse the breathing. So exhale up into cat. And inhale to cow. So notice the difference between cat and cow. In cow here, we've got the head up and the bum up. And then when we breathe it into cat, it reverses. So the bum tucks under, the gaze comes down. And then keeping that movement going. So just flowing between that cat and cow. We'll do one more. So making this the final cat and cow. And then gently bringing that spine back to a nice neutral position. So we're going to take the hands just a little bit wider than the shoulders now, spreading the fingers nice and wide. So they're not under the shoulders anymore, they're a bit further forward. Tuck the toes under, and we're going to take the hips up into downward facing dog. So the goal with downward facing dog is to try and get the heels down towards the floor. So you'll feel quite a super stretch through the backs of the legs here. You want to tilt the hips up towards the ceiling, feet are about hip width. And we're really drawing those shoulder blades back and down, and you'll get a little bit of a stretch through the shoulders here. So it might feel quite tough just holding this here, but see if you can pedal out. So you can always revert back to that cat and cow if you prefer, if this is a little bit too much. Let's see how you get on with this one. So just a few little pedals here, keeping the hips nice and high, keeping the arms forward, drawing the shoulder blades back. That's it. A couple more. And then just bringing that to stillness there. Now take the gaze back towards your feet, and we're going to take a little walk back towards them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You might bend the knees quite deeply here. This is what we call our forward fold. So just drawing the belly up in towards the spine, melting the nose down towards the knees. A few more breaths here. And then taking a nice big inhale, vertebra by vertebra, we're going to slowly rise up to standing. That's it. And then a nice big inhale into extended mountain as our prayer hands come up above. And then exhale, hands down to heart center as we drop the shoulders back and down. So there we go. So that's an example of a little mobilization practice that you can do before any class. It might be one of our classes, for example, that we're going to post later on. So do keep a lookout for those in the group. But yeah, it's a really nice, gentle mobilization. You can do it any time, so it doesn't have to be just when you're working out. You might just need to dispel some nervous energy. It's really lovely. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.